Shazam! It's Tuesday, and you know what that means? That means it's time for a Training Tuesday segment. Hi, I'm Suzanne Castle, creator and founder of The Sparkle Factor. And whether you're live right now here with me on a Tuesday morning at 10:30 in Texas, where a massive cold front is coming its way, or whether you're catching on replay, I'm so glad that you're here. Let us know where you're watching from, right? Let me know in the comments below. You might have to give permission if you want your comment to be seen, but that might get you something later on, so stay tuned to that. I am so glad that you are here. Seriously, it's Tuesday. I'm excited, and I'm excited because of this. Do you see what that says? It says unleash your brilliance. So this was a gift. Last night, I had the pleasure to speak to the local chapter of the American Business Women's Association. They were so gracious. And these women that are chasing their dreams every day, leading in life and business. And one of the things that we were talking about is what happens to us when we get stuck, when our brains just can't see a way forward, and all that that does to our bodies, to our dreams, to our motion, right? How it steals kindness from us, how being stuck is a thief of joy. And so I talked about the brain balance connection a little bit, and I thought it was time for a refresh. So if you watch here a lot, you'll know we talk a lot about what happens here and how to hack this to help you. So I want to talk about that today. But first, I have a question for you. So let me know in the chat, if you will, if you'd like. I am curious. How many times have you been angry or maybe stressed, anxious, in freak out mode, right? I tend to be a freak outer. So, and someone near you just said, you know what? You just need to take a deep breath. Anybody feeling me? Let me know. Anybody? You know, oftentimes I think we kind of write that sentiment off as just try it and oh my gosh, I got to get over myself, right? And we write it off as a phrase of what you're supposed to say when you don't really know how to help somebody. So you're like, hey, just take a big deep breath, right? But sometimes it doesn't land right with us. But the truth of the matter is, taking a deep breath is likely exactly what you should be doing when you're angry, when you're stressed, when you're anxious, when you're stuck, when the world just isn't going the way that you need it to go. You're a little bit frustrated, right? Somewhere along the way, I don't know when it happened, but somewhere between childhood land and adult land, most of us subconsciously changed the way that we breathe. And I know what you're doing right now. You're thinking, wow, gosh, I'm noticing my breathing, right? Did you just get a little more anxious because you're paying attention to it? But we did. We changed the way that we breathe. And I want to be honest with you, we didn't really change it for the better. Yeah. And so here's what happens to us as babies, as children, when we're growing up, we naturally breathe deeper. How many of you have a pet and you watch them deeply breathe while they're sleeping, right? Maybe you have a child. Have you noticed an infant's a good example of this. Their belly rises and falls as they breathe in and they breathe out, and it's really deep. And yet as adults, it's our chest that rises and falls when we breathe, right? The first thing we do is, and all this goes in, right? So there's a real reason why this matters. Because when you're feeling stressed out and anxious and freaked out, that shallow chest breathing that you do, it's not going to help you feel any better. But deep belly breathing actually could, because that's what activates the parasympathetic nervous response. And it totally changes all the neural pathways that then talk to your brain. Okay, so stay with me for a minute. I don't want to get in the science weeds way too much with you. I don't want to be a total neuro nerd, although you love me for this because I do love my neuroscience. But there's some pretty good information that keeps coming out about deep breathing fundamentals and why it's good for us and why it's good for our brain. You see, when you take a big deep breath in, your heart rate quickens slightly. And as you exhale, your heart rate slows down. But when you're doing it like this, what do? You activate anxiety brain. Right? You're like shallowy, like telling your brain, oh my gosh, I'm getting eaten by the bear. Run. But when you deep breath intentionally, way down deep, in, out. And I'm a big proponent of in through the nose, out through the nose, so that I can't like myself. When you do those repeated deep breaths, it naturally will bring your heart rate more in sync with your breath. So what does this do? Well, actually, it leads our brains to release endorphins. We all know about endorphins, right? Those are those chemicals that have a natural calming effect on us, make us feel good. It's the feel good chemical, right? But if you're stuck in shallow breathing, that endorphin doesn't happen. Something else happens, right? Different anxiety hormones happen. So it's no coincidence that deep breathing is kind of the groundwork in a lot of meditation, a lot of practices that we do when you are trying to in tune into your own internal body. Because that calming effect, it has such significance on our lives. There's research that continues to link meditation. That could be prayer, could be a practice you do, could be sitting in silence. Maybe you take a sound bath. There's all these different ways to do that, right? But there's a lot of research that links meditation to a reduction in stress, and not only stress, but anxiety, depression symptoms, as well as improving your sleep, improving your focus, lowering your blood pressure. And it all comes back to what? The deep breathing. But here's the really crazy, amazing thing. That's not the only thing that happens. Some studies are showing us now that meditation can actually change the structure of our brains. You can take a look at Harvard. Like they're the ones really doing some cutting edge research on this in Harvard Health. And what they're showing us is that when you do meditation alongside deep breathing, right, it improves neuroplasticity. We're hearing a lot about this, neuroplasticity, right? That's the ability of the brain to create new neurons, to respond better, for parts of your matter of your brain not to die. Now, this could be due to the fact that the brain is so oxygen dependent. Did you know that your brain is using 20% of your body's oxygen supply? 20%. And just like any other body part, if it doesn't get what it needs, what happens? Symptoms begin to manifest. You get brain fog, right? You have a deficit in oxygen. Not only do you have brain fog, you become unfocused, right? You can't remember. You walk into a room, you can't remember why you're there, or you get a little on edge, or somebody flips out in front of you on the road, and you just like go into rage mode. Some of that is not because you're living in rage. Some of it is your brain isn't giving enough of what it needs for you to think clearly. Now, none of this is to say that taking a few deep breaths now and then will cure your depression. I'm not saying that. I'm not a medical professional in that way. I do have a DR in front of my name, but I can't give you a shot, right? But this is so much helpful information, so much more than what we're already doing. Because when you have meditation and you lay aside it, a breathing practice, it might be a useful tool for lessening symptoms on a range and host of issues. And I'm all about shoring up my toolbox and not taking a pill if I can help it. So what I thought would be fun to do is if you're ready to give deep breathing practice a try, you're not really sure to start, then this is the Training Tuesday segment for you. So I'm going to give you a couple of quick options that you can try right now as you're watching this, okay? So again, meditation, let's talk about it for just a second. When you want to sit in a comfortable chair, so I'm in my desk chair, not always the most comfortable chair. I highly recommend when you're first starting, you want to be in a quiet room. You might want to have the lights dimmed. You might find it enjoyable to add some quiet spa-like music. If you have the ability to be outside and listen to birds or listen to ocean, amazing. Sometimes you want to do this because the only space you have is the bathroom. Okay, like get a candle, claim the space, right? And what you want to do is you want to close your eyes and you want to try to clear your mind and push away all extraneous thoughts. This is harder than it seems. So whenever a stray thought comes to your mind during the course of your meditation, you just go, not doing that right now. I'm not doing that right now. And you count slowly at each step. So you've got this video. I'm going to take you through this. I have my sticky note in front of me, and you can pause it here, get comfortable, come back to it, or bookmark this video and come back to it. So what we want to do is the first thing is we want to deeply breathe in, remember deeply to the belly. Breathe in, count to 3, breathe out, count to 3. This is flagpole breathing. Some call it box breathing, stack breathing. Okay, so you go in for 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you start by focusing your attention on your toes. You imagine a tingling sensation there. Then you relax your toes and then you breathe. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to move your focus up your body gradually. So go to your calves. Again, focus, feel the tingle, let it go. Stack breathing. Thighs, abdomen, shoulders, neck, chin, and cheeks. And what I want you to do is imagining a tingling sensation in each spot before relaxing and moving on. Remember to inhale and exhale that flagpole breathing with each muscle group. Then then you get to your cheeks. Then I want you to focus right here. And you have to relax your eyebrows. And you inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. And then I want you to imagine you're in a field with green grass as far as you can see. And in the distance is a big, beautiful tree. And I want you to imagine yourself walking slowly, intentionally towards that tree, sitting down underneath it. And when you're there, feel every part of your body soak against that tree and into the grass, and then do the breathing again for 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's when you begin to notice any of your thoughts or feelings or sensations. You're not analyzing them, you're just noticing them. You're simply paying attention. And I don't want you to think of them as good or bad, or try to think of more deeply about them. You're just noticing, hey, this is a thing. And I want you to set a timer to do this for 5 minutes. And remember, inhale and exhale. You might get a little dizzy, which is why I want you to stay seated the whole time. Then I want you to imagine yourself standing up, leaving the tree, walking back to where you got started. Inhale, exhale. Again, focus the attention on your toes. Imagine a tingling sensation there. Relax your toes. Inhale, exhale. Continue to focus on all the parts of your body. This time when you reach your eyebrows, you may either start at your toes again or open your eyes and end your session. Do that as long as it takes. And it might take 10 minutes, might take 15, but this is one way to do that. Okay, so that was a quick meditation practice. We're going to go a little bit longer than 10 minutes today. And the next thing is progressive muscle relaxation. So this is where you sit or you lie down somewhere comfortable, you close your eyes, you relax your mind. A lot of special forces groups train their guys to do this to be able to sleep through great stress. And you want to run through each muscle group, relaxing for 10 seconds after each muscle group. So you close your eyes tightly for 5 seconds, right? You clench your jaw, not so tightly that your teeth hurt for 5 seconds. You rotate your head to the left for 3 seconds, to the right for 3 rotations. You understand what I'm doing? But I always start with the toes and go up. So clench, notice, release. Clench, notice, release, right? So you want to begin to do that, okay? Because you're tightening and you're releasing. And when you release, all that flows up to the brain, okay? When you begin to focus on your muscle groups and you're becoming aware of your calm, relaxed feeling with them, right? That's what you want to do. Again, we're working on focus. We're working on anxiety, depression, sleep issues, okay? All of these things, these deep breathing. So you can do this. Now, if this is helpful in any way, shape, or form, please bookmark this. My subscribers on my email list, they got a conscious breathing technique for leaders this week. It's really an easy thing to put wherever you are. If you're interested in finding out how to do more, like more joy, how to access abundance, how to have more ease in your everyday life, how to just more up your life from what it is to what it could be, I want to invite you to a half-day virtual retreat on April the 2nd. Mark your calendar now. I'm going to be sending out more details. You'll see it blasted all over social media. If you specifically want details, if you'll type the comment more below, then I'm happy to get you connected to what that looks like. It's a half a day on a Saturday. And I promise you're going to get some tools and tips and tricks to help you out living with your life with more. All right, I'm Suzanne. This was Training Tuesday. Thanks for spending 13 minutes with me. Go rock that Tuesday. See you soon.